She thought she'd found the perfect remote employee. Fast, reliable, always online, top marks in every code review. For over a year, this senior software engineer collected a paycheck from a US tech company, video called into every meeting, and never once raised a red flag. Then, federal investigators knocked on a door in Arizona, and the truth came out. The engineer wasn't in Arizona. He wasn't even in the United States, and he almost certainly wasn't who his resume said he was. He was working for North Korea. This is the story of one of the strangest infiltration campaigns in modern corporate history, and it's still happening right now, inside companies you've probably heard of. It starts with a problem North Korea has had for decades. The regime is starved of foreign currency. International sanctions have choked off nearly every legitimate way for the country to earn money from the outside world. But sometime around the mid-2000s, someone inside North Korea's intelligence apparatus noticed something the rest of the world had overlooked. The global shift toward remote work had quietly opened a door nobody was guarding. American companies, especially in tech, had spent the pandemic years hiring engineers they would never meet in person. Interviews over video calls, onboarding over Slack, paychecks sent to a bank account nobody physically verified. If you could pass a technical interview and show up on camera, nobody was checking whether the person behind that camera was who they claimed to be. North Korea trains thousands of skilled IT workers, some of the country's brightest students, funneled into technical universities and then placed under strict government control. Under the old system, these workers were sent abroad to China, Russia, sometimes Southeast Asia, to work under false identities for foreign companies, sending almost all of their earnings back to Pyongyang. But remote work changed the model entirely. Now these operatives didn't need to leave North Korea's sphere of influence at all. They just needed a fake identity, a stolen or fabricated resume, and someone on the outside willing to make it look real. That's where the second half of the scheme comes in, and it's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. To make a North Korean IT worker look like a normal American job applicant, the scheme needed a US-based accomplice, someone willing to receive a company laptop at their own home, plug it in, and let the actual worker access it remotely from thousands of miles away. In one case that later became public through a federal indictment, a woman in Arizona ran exactly this kind of operation, essentially turning a spare room in her house into what investigators nicknamed a laptop farm. Rows of company laptops shipped from unsuspecting employers, all logged into remotely by workers who were never in the country at all. She was paid a fee for every laptop she hosted. She claimed she believed she was helping people find remote work. Prosecutors say she helped generate millions of dollars for North Korea's weapons programs. And that Arizona case wasn't an isolated incident. It was one node in an operation that, according to US officials, generated hundreds of millions of dollars for the North Korean regime, funneled through fake identities working inside American payrolls. Here's where the story gets even more uncomfortable. This wasn't a handful of low-level scammers. Investigators found these operatives embedded inside Fortune 500 companies, defense contractors, cryptocurrency firms, cybersecurity vendors, of all places. One security awareness training company, the kind of business that literally teaches employees how to spot online threats, discovered that it had unknowingly hired a North Korean operative as a software engineer. The moment the company shipped his laptop and he logged in for the first time, its security systems flagged unusual behavior almost immediately, and an internal investigation unraveled the entire disguise within hours. But that company caught it fast. Many others didn't catch it at all, sometimes for years. So how does someone from North Korea pass a technical interview for an American tech company in the first place? The answer is unsettlingly simple. These operatives are highly trained. Many have real, substantial coding skills, developed through years of technical education inside North Korea. They study American workplace culture, rehearse interview answers, and use stolen identities, real social security numbers, and names lifted from actual US citizens, sometimes purchased, sometimes stolen outright, to make their applications look legitimate. Some use AI tools to alter their appearance or voice slightly during video interviews, just enough to create distance between the person on camera and how they might look in a different context. Once hired, the accomplice inside the US handles the physical side. receiving the laptop, sometimes even attending occasional in-person requirements, while the actual work is done remotely by someone using tools that can make it look like the connection is coming from inside the United States. And the pay was good. By North Korean standards, it was extraordinary. Salaries from a single job at a mid-sized US tech company could be worth more than what dozens of ordinary North Korean workers might see in a year. Multiply that by dozens of operatives, sometimes holding multiple jobs simultaneously across different companies, and you start to understand the scale investigators were dealing with. Some individuals were found to be secretly holding down 2, 3, even 4 full-time remote jobs at once, collecting multiple salaries under different false identities from different unsuspecting employers, all funneling back toward the same source. The FBI began issuing public warnings about the scheme starting in 2022, but by the time those warnings went out, the operation had already been running for years. Federal indictments began following in waves, targeting the facilitators inside the US, the people running laptop farms, laundering payments, and helping validate fake identities. But the operatives themselves, the actual workers sitting behind keyboards inside North Korea or in North Korean-run facilities in China and Russia, remain almost entirely out of reach of American law enforcement, which raises the question that makes this story so difficult to shake. If companies with dedicated cybersecurity teams, defense contractors, crypto firms, even a cybersecurity training company all got fooled, how many others haven't figured it out yet? Security researchers who've studied the pattern say there are warning signs if you know to look for them. A sudden request to change direct deposit information shortly after hiring, often to an account linked to a money transfer service. A refusal to turn on video during certain calls, or video that looks slightly off, a little too smooth, a little too still. Requests to ship the work laptop to an address that doesn't match the one on file. Odd working hours that suggest a time zone many hours away from where the employee claims to live. Individually, none of these mean much. Together, investigators say they form a pattern that has now been documented across hundreds of confirmed cases. Some companies have started requiring in-person identity verification for new remote hires, something that used to be considered unnecessary friction in a fully digital hiring process. Others have added new steps to compare the person on a video interview against government ID in real time. It's a strange concession, in a way, an admission that the fully remote hiring boom the tech industry built over the last several years created a blind spot nobody thought to guard until a hostile government found it first. As for the money itself, US officials estimate the scheme has funneled hundreds of millions of dollars to North Korea over the years it's been running. Funds investigators believe have been used, at least in part, to support the country's weapons programs, the same programs the international sanctions were designed to choke off in the first place. The engineer who logged in every morning, joined the stand-ups, hit his deadlines, and collected his paycheck was never trying to build a career in Silicon Valley. He was a single node in a financing operation for a government under some of the strictest sanctions on Earth, hiding in plain sight inside the ordinary rhythm of remote work, the video calls, the Slack messages, the shipped laptops, that so many companies had stopped questioning. And somewhere right now, on a video call happening in an office you've never heard of, it may still be happening again.